Hey everybody, my name is Sarah. I just finished watching Raw a few minutes ago, and I thought that maybe I would give you all my opinion. The whole time I was watching this episode, and even, last night I didn't buy the pay-per-view, and I'm very glad I didn't, but even last night after reading reviews, watching reviews, I sat there asking myself one question. That question is, why? There's so many things that I have no idea why the WWE, why they're doing what they're doing. Little things, big things, huge main event things. So I'm going to kind of merge my Raw review in with my new idea, the why movement. Why the fuck are you doing these things? So, let's get started with Hulk Hogan starting off the show. I get text messages from WWE. I got a text reminding me that Hogan's coming back. So, I was sure to watch tonight. Hogan starts talking, and he botches, the second sentence. We're starting this great new thing called the WWE Universe, and we're doing this with the WWE Universe and the WWE Network and this and that and all fucking backwards, and it's he did recover well, but I have some questions about this. First of all, why am I not excited? Second, why would the WWE pick someone to host WrestleMania that can't even form coherent sentences? And also, why are the fans so excited when he comes out, but they're not very excited once he opens his mouth? Maybe he should have not said anything and just done some brothers or something. Maybe that would have gone over well. And honestly, I was expecting the show to start out with a big WWE Network spot, but they waited till after Hogan's whole thing, and we got to see how to do it on an iPad or an iPod and a fucking computer, really hard stuff. But I have some questions about that too. First, why is Michael Cole so fucking excited? And second, why does JBL do so much cocaine before Raw starts? Anybody know? I don't. Now we go into a really exciting match. Alberto Del Rio versus Batista. And my number one question with this is, why do people buy the pay-per-view when the same fucking matches are on the next night's card? Why? Why? Pay-per-views are supposed to be where you end shit. I beat you, shut the fuck up, get over it. But instead, we have to see the same match with usually the same outcome on the Raw after the pay-per-view. I don't understand. Why do they do that? There's a Batista poster in the crowd, and Batista looks at it and points at it and laughs. But then he looks like he gets really sad because everyone is booing him. It looked to me like Del Rio was so distracted by the boos that he wasn't even ready to start the match. And they start, "You can't wrestle" chants. There's this really awesome botch. If you missed it, go back and look at it. It's worth it. Del Rio's coming to kick Batista in the head and misses by a mile. And Michael Cole says, quoting, "Oh, what a glancing blow. Enough to stun the animal." And I think even JBL was he barely kicked him, but if you watch, he didn't kick him at all. And Batista was even oh, he got kicked. Really? We're that fucking stupid. Orton interrupts. Batista loses. It's oh, but he came out. Oh, boo-hoo, Batista. Why doesn't somebody get Batista a can of WD-40 to take care of that ring rust? That's my number one question there. Why do you have two main eventers out, bitching at each other, starting this promo that will lead to WrestleMania, and the fans are chanting CM Punk? Like, okay, I get it. It's disrespectful. Everybody hates it. Whatever. But it says something about the company and about those two stars when the only thing on that whole fucking arena's mind is CM Punk. This is your main event at WrestleMania. Just keep that in mind. Also, this is just a pressing question that has been bothering me for a very long time. Why do you combine the titles if you're not going to combine the titles? Does that piss anybody else off? Because it does me. Okay, you won both titles. Therefore, you take away a title match at every pay-per-view, and then you wear both titles. Why? What? Why? Okay, moving on. Big E versus Cesaro. Not the same match as last night, but damn close. It's the same tag team fighting Big E. At first, I wrote down that it was boring, but then I crossed it out and wrote that it had a slow start, because I do think that the match was good. Why is the best match of the night between two rookies? Also, why is Antonio Cesaro in a heavyweight championship match last night, and tonight he gets downgraded to a Intercontinental match? Why is that? Who knows? Why does Michael Cole insist on calling Cesaro rugged? Really? I think that there were a lot of back and forth, really big moves, really impressive on both their parts, especially Cesaro's. But why does the WWE only give us this kind of match, a back and forth, pinfall after pinfall match, if they're going to fuck it up and disqualify somebody? Okay, it was cool that Jack Swagger interrupted and cost Cesaro the match. But why put in such a great match? I get it, so that you'll want to see it on SmackDown or so that you'll want to see it on Raw next week. But still, it's like the only time we ever get a match worth watching. Somebody is disqualified. That's so fucked up. Why is the cameraman drinking during this match? I think that's all I've got on that. But I really did enjoy it. And I was proud that Cesaro didn't fucking beat the shit out of Jack Swagger after interrupting him and disqualifying him. And, you know, even a lot of people were like, we the people afterwards. So that was cool. Moving on. And I'm not going like match for match. Everything, just the highlights that I watched and didn't fast forward over. But we got the Cena and Bray Wyatt promo. Why is Cena wearing black? Does anyone else think that's odd? I hope, like hell, it means that there's a heel turn coming. Because he's never really worn black before. Maybe? Let's hope. I don't know. Why do I feel sick to my stomach when John Cena gets all thugonomics on everybody? Like, it makes me ill. Why can't we have a diva named Sister Abigail? I don't care if she's dead or a ghost, Sister Abigail, ghost, whatever. It would be awesome to throw in some creepy ass chick in the mix. Like, really cool, right? Okay. Why does Cena have to ruin Bray Wyatt's promo? I love listening to Bray Wyatt. It's so creepy, and like the shit he says like really gets under your skin if you pay attention and understand what he's saying. And then you gotta get like John Cena, like I said, going all thugonomics on his ass. Okay. Also, why does it look like John Cena went to his computer before the show, went to PowerPoint or some fucking Microsoft Word program, and typed up Never Give Up and printed it out and cut it out and put some glue on the back and glued it to his fucking armband? Can he not afford it? Like, can they not, like, go to the fucking concession stand and get him a fucking armband that he has to, like, glue paper to it? That is sad. Next, Christian versus Sheamus. Why do you have to turn Christian heel just so that you can match that heel to face ratio in a match? That's the only reason, was they needed another heel in the Elimination Chamber match. Everybody knew he was going to be one of the first out. He was just a body to fill that fucking spot. They can't let too many good people in it. You know? It doesn't make any sense. And now you're like trying to roll with it as a heel. Why does anyone even give a shit about Sheamus and Christian? Like, Sheamus is cooler than that, I think. Not lately, but like, he has some good matches in him. Let him do something real. And my biggest question of all, and you know this pisses me off, why is this Christian's one more match after one more match after, wait, one more match? No, let's do one more pay-per-view match, and then we'll do one more match after the pay-per-view to settle some beef, but maybe I'll do one more match on SmackDown too. Fuck that, take that one more match shirt off or get rid of him. Period. We're not that stupid. You do the Daniel Bryan, Triple H, Stephanie McMahon little thing in the back, and then Daniel Bryan comes out for his match with Kane. Why can't they just announce that it's going to be Daniel Bryan and Triple H? Like, unless they're going to do something really big with this, which I hope they do this match, and I'll explain it to you why I hope they do it. But why not just announce it? Why not have, like, Triple H come out as a badass and say, I'm sick of you, you little fucking goat. Like, shut up. I'll shut you up. If you wrestle me at Mania and I beat you, you go the fuck away. Like, do something with this. Don't make him beg you for it. Like, I don't get it. But anyway, at all the big pay-per-views, there has to be a belt match and a grudge match. The belt match is going to suck. You have to have that grudge match. That I hate you, I hate you. Like, yeah, the belt match people don't like each other and they're feuding and they're beating each other's asses the weeks leading up to Mania or any pay-per-view. But that grudge match is really what matters. That's like, we're going to settle this once and for all, especially at Mania. Like, we've been bitching at each other, hopefully for longer than the week before. But let that happen. That's the only grudge match that makes sense for this Mania card. There's nothing unless you bring back some big long-term thing like Sting Undertaker, which is not going to happen. Let it be Daniel Bryan and Triple H. Just let it be. Let it happen. Okay. The rest of my questions are kind of just random, not really like, draw out what happened to lead me to these questions. But why does the WWE only put out a good product 1 month out of the year? Why can't they do this caliber stuff? And I'm not saying that this is great by any means, but it's a little better than it is in the off months. Why can't they do that year round? Why do they have to do it just for the Mania month? Why can't they build up the WrestleMania card all year long? Like the day after WrestleMania, start on next year's Mania and start building those beefs so that you have more than 3 clips to choose from. Like, that's all you're going to do. That's all you're going to be able to show is, I'm mad at this person for what they did last week. No, I'm mad at this person for the shit you've done for the last year. Like, let's settle it. That's how it should be. Why is Booker T using hot buns in his hair? Anybody know? I kind of like it. But why does Kane have to wrestle in dress pants? It kind of bugged me. Why do the Divas have to be a total and complete joke? Like, I told you in the last video that I liked Emma, and I really do. But, like, why do you have to have Summer Rae, like, screeching and squealing and shit? And, like, why? I don't understand that. Why do they have to use the same storyline in 2 different matches on the same episode of Raw? And 2 different times this week, you had a partner that caused their partner disqualification. You've got Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose causes him disqualification against Bray Wyatt, and you've got Jack Swagger that causes Cesaro a disqualification against Big E Langston. Twice in one night? Why? Why does anybody care about Brock Lesnar? Do you know? Because I don't. Why do they have to do a worse story this year than they did last year with Paul Bearer and his ashes? Could that get any lower? I don't know. Wait till 3 weeks before Mania and see, right? Why can't they just let poor Undertaker retire, move to Florida, and play shuffleboard? That's probably all he wants. I love Undertaker. I got him on my wall back here. But let that man retire. If you're not going to do something with him, if you're not going to have a legitimate beef, he could have fought Kane. You know, he could have fought anybody that had some kind of history with him. But you slap him in the face last year with CM Punk, and you do it this year with Brock Lesnar. It pisses me off. Yeah, I got that little tinge of excitement when I heard his music, but everybody already knew he was coming back. But it's not there. That big fight feel, that exciting, fucking drama is missing. Why did The Undertaker have on so much eyeliner? Did nobody check that shit before he went out? Sorry, I got really worked up. These are my last final comments. Why, after Elimination Chamber, the Raw after the Chamber, why were there so many botches? There weren't just wrestling botches. There weren't just talking botches. There weren't just cameraman botches. It was a whole botchamania to prepare for WrestleMania. Why is it so predictable? Every year, it's okay, we'll wait till that last pay-per-view, and then that Monday, we'll tell you what the matches are. Can you not give us a little more? Some people have been watching this show for 60 years, or not this show, but watching wrestling for 60 years. Can you respect them enough to give them something new and exciting and innovative? Why do we have to watch the WWE Network? Why can't we watch today's product? It's like saying, we're not going to give you much, but you can go back and watch what happened in the past. Why can't you make a good enough product now that we don't want to watch the past, that we don't talk about the past? Yeah, there'll always be legends. You'll always talk about your favorite fucking moment in wrestling history, but give us something now. Why not? Also, why do we wait a month till Mania? I started this a little bit earlier, but let it build. You can't write a good story in one paragraph, right? You need chapters. You need fucking books, a whole book, a whole year's worth of chapters. My last question is, why do they have to give WrestleMania away for $9.99 a month? They could have waited till after Mania to launch the network, but would anyone have bought WrestleMania for more than $9.99? Have a nice day.